Well, here we are, December 19th. Christmas will be over this time next week. This is the beginning of the muzzleloader, pistol, crossbow, and archery season. The late season will run through January 10th here in Iowa. And as you can see in the background, this is unusual. Green grass and 50-degree temperatures. That's supposed to come to the end here shortly, but we got a favorable wind tonight, northeast wind, so we're going to go and see if we can set a stand that we sat there at the end of the season and had no deer sightings. But the deer aren't under a lot of stress. It's got the dark moon, and so it'll be dark fast, but they don't have to forage until under cover of darkness after that gun season. So we'll go up and see what happens. And by the way, this is a good friend of mine's birthday, Chuck Curitan, and I want to wish him a happy birthday and best of luck into the future. So let's go see if we can't get Chuck a buck. You know, so we'll go up top and see what happens. This is a whole different season now. What you got away with in November during the rut, you ain't gonna get away with after that. The deer have been pressured, they've been shot at, and they will not tolerate human presence at all. So what we got here is the timber. We got the food source. Now this is the time, if you planted food plots, it would be the time that they would be an aid to help you get on a deer, because there's really no pattern to them other than a feeding pattern, and that's no guarantee. But the wind is coming from the timber straight into our face, and as we approach our stand, the wind will be in our face. If you do not do that and you telegram the deer, here we come, you'll never see them. They'll be gone, gone, gone. So playing the wind at this time of the year, hands down, is the most important thing you can do. Even with that water hemp in there, we still made a fairly good crop of beans. The deer have been foraging on them, and like I said, that's what it's all about, is trying to keep the health of the local deer herd in some kind of physical conditioning throughout the winter months. Now, they've had it pretty easy so far, but we still, like I say, this is only 19th of December, and you can see there's a lot of beans in there. I was almost going to plow them under. So I guess I was lucky or not, but I definitely got a water hemp problem. And a lot of other people in southern Iowa and abouts have too, but I got a plan. And these are deer trails, by the way. As we wander up here, I think I showed you this the last time I was up here. We're coming up on the tall pine tubers. Now keep in mind, these were planted in a drought, and they'll speak for themselves. And they've been foraged on, and it's been dry, dry, dry. So we'll wander on up here and see what happens. But those turnips did pretty good. I have to laugh at the people that told me I was a fool for burning up the ground. I think I've said that before, but all you have to do is look at the amount of forage and the amount of turnips and tonnage that was produced here. This trail we're walking down, by the way, is a deer trail. People, you can expect that when you do the proper pH. That thing is huge. And that all starts right now on taking your soil samples and planning for your next year's crop. It's a 365-day job. It's not just one and done. Now, as we approach this timber up here, we got the wind blowing directly into our face. And that's what it needs to hunt this stand. Don't get that opportunity too often to hunt this stand, but that's all right, because you won't overhunt it. And as we venture on up here, we'll see the results of our winter grains and beets and grains. Now, off to the left here is the winter grains. Off to the right are the beets and grains. Winter beets and grains. They've been browsed upon, but if you notice one thing, there's still a lot of browse here. A lot. And a lot of people don't understand the intensity of grazing that's going to go on. But the deer herd will come here from miles around, and if your food plots aren't big enough, they will be cropped off and the deer will move on. So it's really vital to try to get as much tonnage and acreage as you possibly can to circumvent that, because I want this to last all winter. And these are doing really good. I say this is beets and grains, and over here is your winter grains. So, and I got the wind coming right to my face, so I'm going to quit jabbering and get in the stand. Yeah, this is so weird. I pan around here. I'm first going to show you. Hopefully this is where the deer will come from. But it sure doesn't seem like the 19th of December. And everything's still green. It just seems like it's middle of November. But keep in mind, the deer are not the same now as they were in the middle of November. Yeah. Winter grains. And you notice all those trails in there? Folks, those deer have been using that field extensively. But that's what it was there for. And this is the only second time in the year that I've hunted it. I hunted it on, I don't know, 29th or something of November. And now this is the 19th of December. You couldn't tell if you just woke up. You wouldn't know that this wasn't November. Well, let's get back to something. The 20th day of December. View from the front porch. Green grass. Amazing. Pond has a little ice on it. But as you can see, the timber is wide open. You really gotta watch yourself when you go out now. Okay. It's December 20th. December 20th. Got a southeast wind. We're down here on a food plot. Pure traction. And we got the wind coming right into our face with this big log pile. Ain't no different than hunting antelope. So if we're gonna sit up here, gotta change gears. Deer ain't running the woods no more. The only thing in the woods is the nuts in the trees and the nuts on the ground. So it's time to change your floor mat. You can't keep doing the same thing that you did in November as you're doing on the 20th of December. So let's sit back and see what happens. It's dirt, not cow shit. Here's what happened there. There was 2 weeds out in front of me about 4 o'clock. And I reached my hand out there to break them off. And when I did, I was just a little bit out behind the stump. And I looked over to my south, and that doe was standing there. It took her 45 minutes to get out in front of me. Now I'm down there on the low ground, so there's no wind blowing right now. But she didn't snort. She just visually seen something that she didn't like. She came right down there, looked right over here, and I was busted. But it's fun because you're still hunting, and it's a different form of hunting. Sometimes you gotta get down out of the trees, and the blinds that you had, the stands that you had, no longer working this late season. I could have shot that doe, and as ugly as she was, I probably should have. And that's not being sexist, that's just saying she was one ugly doe. So, anyhow, we're gonna call it a wrap. And, but keep challenging yourself, because if you don't, you'll get bored, because you won't see very much action on your traditional stands that you had, because everything is off the table right now. Well, here we go. First day of winter, as you can see. We go down here, we can see a slight chance of showers, but the most important is that northeast wind. We're going to be setting up on a trail leading out of the timber into a food plot, and this is the time that I will hunt food plots at this time of the year, because that's about the only drawing card you got. The deer are so scattered. But anyhow, that's what Osceola is going to have the first day of winter. Absolutely no snow on the ground. So let's get to the stand. There's a hunter in that tree with his camouflage. 21st day of December, first day of winter. I'm going to make a point right here. Let's step this off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That was 21 yards from there. So we're going to step off 10 more, going backward. There's 30 yards. Gray, overcast, drizzly day. Going to be hunting a tree with very little leaves on, just like that tree right there. And that's why I'm going to go with that white breakup camo. No hat on because it's warm. You don't want to be sweating anymore than you have to. Very seldom you're going to go out on the first day of winter. You can't see your breath. Gloveless. Exceptionally warm. And plenty of food. Natural and man-made, planted. But one thing you got to really keep in mind at this time of the year, what you did a month ago won't work today. These deer have been pressured, they've been hunted, the rut's over. And if you have to walk an extra half hour, 45 minutes to get to your stand, so that you know you didn't contaminate the area that you're hoping the deer are in, then you have to do that. There's no shortcuts. That's what I don't understand. Hey, cuss me, hate me, I don't give a shit, really. I don't understand how people can walk out to the same fiberglass blind and sit on the same food plot with the different winds. I mean, you're busted before you even get there most of the time. You've got to have multiple setups, or either that or you're still going to be limited hunting unless you go outside the box and start using electronic technology. And what part of that don't you understand? It's not fair chase. So hate me, like me, I don't really give a shit. I'm still going to be me right to the end of this life. But what I'm trying to say is you have to put in extra time, and extra miles have to be walked to get into the spot that you want to get. And when I say that, there's some new cover scent right there on the ground. Yeah, natural. Yeah, new cover scent. Nothing like getting free cover scent from the real deal. Free. It didn't come from the big box store. That timber back in the background is what we're hunting. Now the wind is coming straight out of the northeast. So that lets me know when I go in there, I haven't spooked any animals. They probably took that wind into the bedding ground. Like I showed you, they bed with the wind coming over the back. And they look to see if anything's coming from the other direction, which would be the southwest. So I want to sneak in here real stealthy, get in the stand, and hope for the best. But you've really got to pay attention in the late season here in Iowa, because like I said, it's not the same hunting season, and the deer are educated, more so than some of the hunters, self-included sometimes. What we're coming up on is a beets and greens a field. This is the first time I've hunted this stand during the deer season. That's why you hunt fresh with multiple stands. Food plots come into play now more so than any, because the deer are so scattered, and chances are you could sit on a trail and never see them traversing up and down it right now, other than going to a food source. So this is the time of year that I will hunt a food plot, but I'm hunting far enough back that when the deer come out, they will go past me, and when I get out, I can get out without disturbing them. So let's get to the stand. Once again, spreading these turnips on me. Remember that big pile of deer poop we found? We're 15 feet up in the air. We'll let that blow out there. Yeah, nice. Today the Pilgrims landed, I can't remember, it was 1600s. Then everything they found on this new country was taught to them by the Native Americans, because they knew how to get here, they just didn't know how to survive. Well, tonight was like the domino game that I played on the floor with you the other day. Last night was too. Last night I had all the dominoes lined up. Doe standing there. Sure, ran. Tonight, I had a bet of harm on this. Perfect night. Not a deer went by. So, even when you have all your dominoes lined up, everything's the way it's supposed to do, it's still hunting. So, I guess I'm going to put a wrap on it. It's starting to rain again. It's 5 after 5, and there ain't no use of being up here any longer.